Honourable Chairperson, sir, Madam, I want to inform you first, before starting my speech, that one of the companies that I lead as chairman, Amar Raja Batteries Limited, is an energy and mobility company. And this bill is quite close to the area in which we operate. Therefore, I request you to be a little flexible with the time, as I am sure the Minister and the Government will find the inputs useful. Madam, the thematic objective to bring this bill is to give legislative backing to the Honourable Prime Minister's Panch Amrit, which contains 5 nectar elements, right from sourcing 50% electricity from non-fossil fuels, reducing carbon emission by 1 billion tonnes, installation of 500 gigawatt-hours of non-fossil energy capacity, achieving net carbon zero emission by 2070, and reducing the overall emissions. The road seems to be perfectly laid, but all we have to see is to what extent we will be able to extract the nectar. Since we have to take the states along, in spite of the fact that electricity is in the concurrent list under entry 38, technically the Government of India can achieve this. But I feel unless and until the Honourable Minister takes the states along, it will be difficult to achieve all the 5 elements. Madam, the bill as I see it aims to act as a facilitator to achieve COP26 targets. So I feel the proposed legislation is in the right direction. It is not that since the bill has come, we are proposing to work on renewables. This is not true. In fact, we have shown rapid adoption of renewable energy sources during the last nearly 1 decade. If we are able to realize the set goals of even 50 to 60%, we will have huge savings in import bills, improving energy security, creating green jobs, attracting huge investments, and above all, we can advance the adoption of clean tech innovations, such as energy storage technologies and green hydrogen production, etc. From every angle, this bill is of immense help to India and to its people, and hence I'm supporting it. Madam, with all that said and done, there are challenges to switch from fossil to renewable which need to be addressed. Otherwise, it will become a futile exercise. I will address them one by one, very briefly and succinctly. The first challenge, as I see it, is that we need policy consistency. If you look closely, the regulatory framework and procedures are different in every state because they define their respective renewable purchase obligations. This creates higher risk of investment in this sector. Secondly, the policies are applicable for just 5 years, which will create investment risks, and biomass sector doesn't have a comprehensive framework, as my colleague just mentioned. The delay in payment by the State Electricity Regulatory Commission to the developers imposes debt burden on the developers as well. Thirdly, for commercial and industrial scale captive solar producers, a consistent metering policy is a must to encourage adoption. The second challenge, Madam, is taxation. I suggest for consideration of the Honourable Minister to revert GST to the earlier level of 5% from the current 12% on renewable energy equipment to encourage greater adoption. I need not apprise the Honourable Minister that in the last 18 months there has been about 40 to 50% increase in the price of PV modules and domestic solar engineering procurement and construction costs. So I urge the Honourable Minister to discuss the issue with the Honourable Finance Minister and convince her that in order to achieve this Panch Amrit promised by the Honourable Prime Minister, we have to bring GST down to 5%, sir. Madam, there are infrastructure bottlenecks. There is insufficient integration with the grid, which affects the renewable projects. SERCs are not able to use all of the generated power to meet the needs. The transmission infrastructure should stay ahead of the renewable energy